Alright, at this stage you'll find that once you want to get your rope and wrap your individual bezels with the stone in it to prevent deformity of your bezel, and you get those cut, and when you cut your wiring, usually a really good pair of nippers, some Lindstroms. You want something with a flush cut so it has a nice even cut, and usually once you wrap that and you have your pieces ready for soldering, you want to move to that step, which you'll notice it's best to have everything prepped, and that is having your boric with your alcohol, denatured alcohol, boric acid and denatured alcohol, and mixed in, apply that to the joints and make sure you're working with a clean area to weld your metals, being clean. Once you burn off the alcohol and boric acid, and you also do that to the pavilions of the hard solder. So get your solder prepped for the welding process, and it's also recommended maybe buy a holder, a magnetic. Wrap some steel around your mini torch, and that'll hold your torch while you're prepping your metals for welding. And of course, before that welding is to be done, you want to go ahead and add some flux to the joints. And once again, always safety, wear your leather smock, working on your bench to prevent if you drop any of your items, or take note, you want to always keep your extinguisher in your shop close by. And we'll start welding, and you definitely want to lower your torch. We'll pick up at the weld. Well, this process we're showing here is after your Batterex flux is applied to your individual joints. You don't need to flux the whole piece, just the joints you intend to weld. And I'd recommend cutting tiny pavilions. This, of course, is accomplished by taking your hard sheet solder, and definitely going to need to get some sheet metal shears and just cut some, pretty much cut your slices so you can start cutting pavilions, little tiny pavilions. And here you're gonna, just like I showed before, heat up the pavilion to a sphere and touch it with your titanium tip, pick it up and apply it to your joint. Sometimes you may have to repeat it twice. That's the purpose of using the most smallest minute solder. And continue repeating that process, which is the reason I recommend practicing welding over 100 different bands, to learn the control of the torch and the flame, and as to where you won't melt your works. And use moderate lighting so you can see the color change in the metal temperatures. You know, if it's too bright of a red, you want to use caution in the sense that you don't melt the piece you're working on. And another tip would be to always make extras in case you find yourself making that slight mistake, which any jeweler can have happen, or maybe your solder is not flowing. I'll pick up after continue welding all these.